first circuit in this workout. We're gonna start on our knees, on the pad. We wanna make sure that our toes are bent, so we're up on our toes. All right, we're gonna drop our hips back. I'm gonna use a kettlebell. It's great if you have one. If you wanna use a dumbbell, that'll work too. We're gonna get a big exhale, get our core tight. It's gonna be important. We're gonna punch up with our hips and our hand. Now what we're really trying to focus on here is not trying to just lift and press. We're trying to use the momentum from this push, boom, to help us pop that weight up. That way's gonna allow us to get a heavier weight. So get that core tight, pop, own it, pull back down. So I'm pushing from my toes, using my core to not only stay stable, but to transfer that power and energy from the lower body, boom, up into that press. We don't have to rush. Make sure you're set. Make sure you have a good brace. Pop up. We're gonna do 8 on each side. Then we're gonna do what our mom told us not to do. We're gonna put our foot on the wall, one foot down on the ground. I want this toe pointing straight up, so I don't want it out here. I don't want it just be on the toe. I want this whole foot on the wall. We're gonna pitch forward. We're actively trying to push this wall over, so I wanna really firmly push both down to the ground and back. Get a nice tall spine. We're gonna grab 2 kettlebells, dumbbells, and we're gonna row. So we're gonna feel those shoulder blades, especially the shoulder. Come back, retract towards the middle. We're trying to pull those elbows towards the spine when we pull up. Good, nice smooth row. We're not trying to jerk. Notice that my body is not going up and down like that. I'm keeping my torso still. I've got a big row. I'm gonna do 8 on the left foot, and then I'm gonna do 8 on the right foot the same way. Making sure, again, that I'm actively pushing back into the wall. It's gonna be a lot of work for your legs, a lot of work for your core. Heart rate's gonna get up there. We're gonna have a nice big strong row with it. So we've got thruster press from a kneeling position, 8 each side here on the wall with the row. Try to push your weights, especially later on in the sets 2, 3, and 4. We're gonna do 4 rounds, by the way. On sets 3 and 4, push some weight. And if you only get 6 reps or 7 reps, that's not the end of the world. That's kind of the whole point of being in the weight room. So if you fail, and especially at a 6, 7 rep range, it's okay. We're just gonna keep pushing, go after it again next week. All right, so for the second circuit in this workout, we're gonna be in a hip thruster position on a bench. We don't need a bar at all. We're just gonna put the back of our shoulder blades, or the bottom of our shoulder blades on the bench. We're gonna put our elbows down here on the front edge of the bench as well. So we don't want them up here, we want them here in the front. They're gonna help us stabilize. We're gonna have a single leg hip thruster. Now, we can either do it this way where we just do a regular hip thruster, or I'd prefer if we could do a plyometric version. So we'll be up on our toe. This off leg can help us. We're gonna jump as soon as we hit the ground. We're back up, pushing off that toe, throwing with the hip. Pushing your elbows back, and for support, we're trying to hit and go, hit and go. We're gonna do 8 on each side. We'll come here. We're gonna plant one foot. My right foot's gonna be planted on the ground. I'm gonna step back. Now it's important to make sure that my pelvis is in a good position. I'm gonna step forward. Back, forward, back, forward. Keep that chest up. If I wanted to wait, I could hold it here. And I'm trying to move somewhat quickly, not in a rush. And I'm making sure I find my balance the whole time. Making sure I'm always on this big toe. Making sure I stay low to the ground. Making sure when I'm here, when I'm in either position, my pelvis isn't internally rotating like this and kind of collapsing right here. We want space between our torso and our leg. We're gonna do 8 on the left, then we'll do 8 on the right. After that, we're gonna come here, we're gonna grab 2 dumbbells. Kettlebells are fine too. We're gonna hold here. We're doing a small squat thruster. Let it back down. Pop, back down. Pop, back down. So we're using our legs to give us power to get the weight up. Much like we did kneeling down in the circuit before this, but now I'm giving you your legs, so I'm making you stronger. You're welcome for that. So, to review, hip thruster, single leg. If you can, make it plyometric, do the jump, 8 on each side. If not, that's okay, keep your foot flat. Be real strict on that form and work on a big full range of motion, 8 reps on each side. The step throughs. Again, pelvis is neutral. We're gonna step back, stay low, step forward. Push back, we stay low the whole time, forward to backward. Okay? We're on our hip thrusters, Squat, pop, own it, Pull it back down. Keep that core tight to transfer that power from the lower body to the upper body. I want you to use your lower body, but the objective is to get tall, own it for a second, pull it back down. We'll have 8 of those. So 8 on everything, we'll do 4 rounds. Have fun. This one sucks, so enjoy it. All right, so for the last circuit we have in this workout, we're gonna slip our hands into the straps. We're gonna have the sled. Now, if you have a sled, that's awesome. We're gonna drag the sled backwards. If you don't have a sled, you can try to find a hill and walk or jog up it backwards, or just any walking backwards is what we're trying to do. Anything, if you have some bands, you could attach it, walk backwards, walk forward, walk backwards, walk forward. We're just trying to get some time going backwards. Sled is great, sled is ideal, but there are other options. We're gonna slip our hands in, okay? If you wanna slip your hands all the way in here, that's fine too. A lot of folks like that, okay? But the idea is to not grip it to death. We don't wanna squeeze this thing to death. We wanna have our grip easy and we're holding back like this. We're gonna sit down, okay? Abs are tight, and we're gonna walk backwards. We're not trying to go super fast, we want a full extension of that knee. So every time I take a step back, I fully extend that knee. I'm keeping my butt back, shoulders back as well. We're walking, we're gonna keep going. We're ideally gonna try to go as long unbroken as we can. I'm getting to the end and I'm gonna have to turn it around, and I've got something else to show you. So I would go down and back in this situation, trying to go 40, 50 yards if possible, moving at a good clip, but keeping that core tight. We're gonna be here in a hyperextension, okay? You can set this up a lot of different ways. You can go into a barbell rack, put the barbell in backwards, make sure that you're pushing into the support, that you're not pushing out to the free side, pushing the support. We've got a hyper here. If you have a glute hand developer, you can do that as well. There's a lot of different ways to set up. Trying to get it about a 45 or 90 degree angle. Any way there is fine. The front of my hips are supported. I keep my core tight. My pelvis here is what rotates. So I'm getting long in the hamstrings. When I feel that big stretch back here, I'm getting long in the glutes and hamstrings. When I feel that big stretch, I'm just gonna rotate back here. I like to even think with the front of my legs, I'm pulling myself down. So I'm using those hip flexors to pull myself down. That way I get some practice with that, and it keeps me more in tune with the movement. So my pelvis is rotating. Now my hamstrings and glutes are gonna be used to rotate that pelvis back around. So my pelvis is with my upper body the entire time. My ribs and pelvis are stacked, and I come back up. If I wanted to add weight to this, I would hold here. I could hold a plate here, I could hold a dumbbell here, hold a kettlebell here, whatever you want. We're gonna do 8 to 10 reps. After that, we're gonna have a hollow body hold. So we're gonna be on our back here for 30 seconds. Holding, trying to breathe, and I'm gonna try to squeeze my legs together, kind of as hard as I can. Really try to squeeze my heels, then my toes, then everything together. And that gets my adductors, which is something I'm personally working on. But that really helps. A lot of folks could use some help with that adductor, okay? And I'm breathing calmly. Focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So planks and hollow bodies and simple isometrics like that are the best time to work on your breathing mechanics. Trying to breathe in, get a deep breath deep into that back of the bottom of those lungs, and trying to exhale and be controlled. It'll make your exercise way more challenging, which is always fun. Make simple things challenging. And it's a good time to get in tune with your breath, focus on your breath, and practice that, because you're not really having to do much else. So we get a lot of bang for our buck if we focus on our breathing while we're doing these isometrics. Drag the sled, 40 to 50-ish yards. We got our hyperextension, again, anywhere between 45 and 90 degrees. Trying to get 8 good reps. Really focus on that form. Pull yourself down with your hip flexors, and then pull yourself back up with your hamstrings, glutes. Make sure that you're using those muscles. Don't swing that upper back around. You'll feel it in your low back a little bit, your erectors. That's good. You want to work those muscles, but your primary movers there are your hamstrings and glutes. It's a tricky one, but you can do it. And then we're gonna hold the hollow body. Again, focus on our breathing, in for 2 to 4 seconds, out for 2 to 4 seconds. Really focus on that good deep breath. Those lungs expand. They don't go up, they don't go down, they go out. It's a balloon. You got 2 of them. They're in there. Use them. Have fun. Hit me up if you have questions.